me know all is one. Holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Tacoma. My name is Reverend Lori Erwin Johnson, and I am your spiritual leader for today. If this is your first time watching us and being here with us, welcome. I'd like to see you all, but it's hard to see through the camera, but I know that you're there. I can feel your energy. And if you visited before, welcome back. We're glad that you're here. You can always visit Unity of Tacoma by going to our website at unityoftacoma.org and check out all the messages, today's message and any message from the past weeks, and you learn about what's happening here at Unity. So unityoftacoma.org is our website. Check it out. I would like to introduce our musical guest. You've just heard from her. Her name is ChristineEss Young. She is so awesome, always has wonderful music. I'm really looking forward to hearing more. And I know she's already given me a little bit of what she's going to be doing, so I know it's going to be awesome. Thank you for being here, ChristineEss. And if this is your first time here, you know that we start off our service with a prayer. And if you're new and you haven't been here before, we start off our service with a prayer. So if you could get into a space where you are comfortable and in a place where you feel comfortable to pray, let us pray. Oh, there is so much to be thankful for today. The birds and the trees and the cooler temperatures here in the Pacific Northwest. And we're in the company of friends and our families, and we realize that what we have in this moment right now is exactly what we need. We become centered and we become still, and we realize that we never want for anything. Not really. There's never a lack of what we need. There's a lack of our consciousness in what we need. Who we are in this moment, when we take away all of our worries and fears, this is our true state of being. This is who we are. We are divine. We are the source of the divine. We are abundant. We are prosperous. And we are guided by the gentle hand of God every single moment of every single day. With the divine as our source, we can have faith, knowing that we will get and have everything that we need and more. So we'll be able to share it with others, giving freely, without fear, without hesitation. And this is who we are at our very cores. We accept this as truth and know it is so. And so it is. Amen. And ChristineEss is going to have another beautiful song for us before we start our message.
God help the outcast, hungry from birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth. The lost and forgotten, they look to you still. God help the outcast, or nobody will. I ask for nothing, I can survive, but I know so many less lucky than I. God help the outcast, the poor and downtrodden. I thought we all were the children of God. I don't know if there's a reason why some are blessed, some not, why the few you seem to favor. the outcast, don't cast them out. The poor and unlucky, the weak and the odd, I thought we all were the children of God.
Beautiful. Thank you. What a perfect, wonderful way to start off our service. Thank you, ChristineEss. So our affirmation for today is I embody a giving consciousness. We are continuing on the theme of prosperity and abundance. And today we're going to be talking about tithing. And tithing is a confusing thing. Many people believe it's one thing, and it really is more than something else. And we're going to talk about that today, what tithing could mean if you knew exactly what it was. So that's my topic for today. And our reading actually comes from the book that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. And the reading is exactly from chapter 10, which is a new look at tithing. And the reading goes, if people get into the tithe your way to riches and success consciousness, they are building their house on sand. When dollar signs in their eyes, they are more concerned with what they are giving to than what they are giving from. This need not be the case. It is a question of motivation. One needs to face up to some hard questions. Do I tithe to get things or to get a greater awareness of divine law? Do I analyze the effectiveness of my tithing on the basis of my income or my general well-being? Let us not be misunderstood on this point. Giving is a fundamental spiritual law. You cannot live without giving. And I picked a scripture lesson today from the Bible, Malachi 3:10. And it says, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. So as I was saying, I'm continuing with our exploration of Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth, and this is the last chapter I'm going to discuss on Sunday. And today is, again, chapter 11, a new look at tithing. And when I think about tithing, I want to give a little bit of a definition of tithing. Tithing is something that people who go to church may not know what it is. And traditionally, tithing is giving to your spiritual community. In the Bible, it was giving so much of a percentage of your income to your spiritual community. And but tithing can be interpreted differently, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. And when I was a little girl, I attended a Presbyterian church in my neighborhood. It was the only church around. I was baptized as Lutheran as a very young child, and all my family was Lutheran, but there wasn't a Lutheran church in our neighborhood. So there was this tiny little Presbyterian church, cute little thing that had been there for a long, long time. And my parents really wanted me to have some kind of education, a religious education. They wanted me to know about the Bible, about Jesus and what it meant. And I also think they wanted my sister and I out of the house for a couple hours on Sunday, just to get a break. And so they would drop us off at the Sunday school and drive away. They also liked the fact that there was Bible camp on Sunday. So they had in the summertime, they had this Bible camp that would go for an entire week, and they would drop us off every day for a couple of hours. So it was really free daycare for them. So it was a little bit of both. They wanted me to learn about God, and they wanted to get a little bit of a break. And I understand that as a parent. Anyway, it's really funny that my sister and I have different memories about Sunday school. She remembers the cute little songs about the devil sitting on a tack. And I remember the scriptures and how I was really dedicated to saving my change, my coins every week to put in the plate at Sunday school. Now, this church was really good. It was a tiny little church, so it was supported by the neighbors. And so they were really good at training us to give so they could be supported. And I remember they were giving me a little card, and it was a card that was a little booklet kind of folded in half. And it had little slots in it that were just big enough to hold the different types of coins. So there was small enough for pennies, and then the right size for nickels, dimes, and quarters. And once the card was all filled up, then we could take it to Sunday school and then we could put it in the offering plate. But on this really cool little booklet that was so cool when we could fill it up, it was like an advent calendar, only we were putting things in instead of taking things out. And there was a spot at the very, very top of this booklet where there was a space for a silver dollar. Now, when I was a kid, a silver dollar was the greatest coin that you could ever get. I had one. I've had a couple, but I had one that was very special, and I had it in a little plastic holder, and I kept it in my jewelry box because it was just too precious to put in my piggy bank. It was something that I wanted to keep as a treasure. I was like Gollum in the Lord of the Rings, like it was my little precious. And whenever I got one, and like I said, I didn't get very many as a kid, the last thing I really wanted to do is I didn't want to put it in the plate at Sunday school. And the problem I had was that, not that I didn't want to give to help the church, because I did that often. And when, even as a young age, I volunteered at the church with my mom at the bazaars and the spaghetti feeds and things that we had to raise money for the church. But I just didn't want to give up the silver dollar. I was afraid I wouldn't get another one. And they weren't very common for children like me. I didn't have, I think I got it as a special gift from an uncle. And I just love that thing. And I was just afraid that if I gave it away, then I wouldn't get another one, and I would never see it again. And even though it didn't really, to me as a child, didn't represent any kind of monetary value, it did have a value that it was mine. It was my special gift, my precious, my treasure, and I wanted to hold on to it. What the Sunday school lessons never told me about giving to the church or putting in the plate is that the coin itself, the thing that I had, the material coin, really didn't have any meaning. It's just an object that meaning is ascribed to, and it also gave it value. Without our saying that the coin is worth a certain amount, we wouldn't really know really want it. It's just a little coin. It really didn't even have any silver. It's just a coin that had somebody's face on it. And when it is given freely, when energy is given, I'm losing my mind here. I went ahead of myself. When you start to give, you release an energy. And I wasn't taught that in Sunday school. I wasn't taught that if I give this coin away, then my energy is released, and then I will receive something in return. It becomes a circulation then. And that is something in Sunday school that my Sunday school teachers never taught us. And so I became very afraid of giving away my money. My Sunday school teachers didn't think much about this and what it meant for a child to give these special gifts, I guess. They were just trying to train us to give things to the church, and I understand that. They were a small church and they needed supporting. But there was more to the idea of tithing than what I was taught. And they missed a valuable lesson there, and they really missed the mark. The true definition of sin is to miss the mark. And it's a term that's used in archery. So when you are sending off your arrow and you miss the mark, that is sinning. And so they were teaching us that not giving to the church was a sin. But in essence, they were missing their mark by not teaching about what it meant to give to the church and how we could give to the church and what we would receive by doing so. Eric Butterworth said, tithing is normally encouraged for all the wrong reasons. Some of the claims made and the arguments set forth make the tithing concept a gross materialization of a beautiful spiritual law. And what my teachers, the Sunday school teachers, failed to teach me was that there is so much more to tithing than the coins that I save up each week. And that things I thought were my treasures were not as important as the energy that was released with the giving and the receiving. In that moment in time when I was a little child, the silver dollar was a special gift. But a couple of years later down the road, when I was a teenager and as I grew into adult, I forgot all about that silver dollar. In fact, I forgot all about that silver dollar until I wrote about it yesterday when I was writing the sermon today. And you know what? It still has a memory of something, but it doesn't hold the same preciousness to it. It's not as important to me anymore. And when you learn that that is what it is something that I was coveting, something I was holding on to, it prevented the movement of energy of giving and receiving. And as I got older, I dropped away from church because I got this lesson that I was to give when I was to go to church. Every Sunday, I was to give into the plate. And I forgot what it meant to give and receive because it wasn't instilled in my mind when I was younger. And a lot of people may understand this, but when I was younger, I had a job that I worked paycheck to paycheck, and I was always broke. And I didn't really feel there was enough to give to the church. So when I went on Sunday, I felt really guilty that I didn't have anything to put in the plate. So it kept me from going to church. And I didn't realize that there was certainly more that I could be doing than just giving money in the plate. My Sunday school teachers, they never taught me the importance of tithing in other ways. And I left church in my spiritual life because I didn't have enough coin to put in the basket. I didn't have enough coin to put in the plate. But when I realized, when I came back to Unity, when I started going to Unity, and I realized that I'm gonna put something in the plate, but I also have other things to give. I have talent and I have time. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't, at that time when I first started going to Unity, I didn't have a lot of money to give, but I did volunteer my time. I volunteered my time at the bookstore as a receptionist. So I had access to all these wonderful books. And in the idea of giving of myself, I was opened up to all these other ways of learning how to give and receive. I had all of these books that I was there in the bookstore and a receptionist at Unity of Tacoma. I had all of this opportunity to learn what it was to give and receive and what tithing is, that it is more than my treasure. It's my talent and my time as well. And I also learned at this time at Unity, when I first started, I learned that tithing is a giving and a receiving. It's not just giving to the church. By giving, I received so much more, and it allowed the circulation of things to come into my life. You know, you don't think about it when you're at the store and you have $1 in your hand and you want to buy that candy bar, which candy bars are no longer $1. But when you put your dollar on the table, and you want to buy a candy bar, you're getting something from that. Giving your money, you're receiving your dollar, your candy bar for that dollar. And so it allows the circulation. Tithing is the same way, giving to where you are spiritually fed. That can be your spiritual community or a volunteer organization that you're working for. Giving to them allows for you to release that hoarding feeling, that holding on, that stifling of energy that you're doing by being fearful and holding on to your money, the things that you covet, whether it be your money or things that you're storing in the back closet. These things could be used, but holding on to them is just fearful. And when I did let go of that fear, when I first started tithing, I remember that at first I felt like I had enough to give. I didn't have enough to give. And I began to see then that I was gifted more and more and more as I gave more of myself and my talent and my time, and eventually opened me up to be able to give a little bit more into the plate. And then as I did so, I got more in return. I got more in joy and feelings of gratitude and prosperity of my own, knowing that I have been able to help in some way, in something bigger than myself. You see, my Sunday school teachers, they didn't teach, or maybe they didn't even know, that tithing was this important spiritual law. It's something that we can carry with us throughout our lives, that Giving is a receiving. Jesus told us that. Giving, give, and you shall receive. But I wasn't taught how that receiving was going to happen, how this was going to work out. They stopped at give, but there was no understanding of how and why that worked. And I believe that this is important because knowing that we're prosperous, that we're abundant, that source will always provide for us is absolutely the key to the spiritual law. That once we give to where we are spiritually fed, we start to feel more and more and experience more and more abundance and prosperity in our lives. It just works that way because you are opening the dams. You have opened it up and you allow that circulation to flow. Some years later, I was, again, when I was working at Unity of Tacoma and other places, and as they expanded my knowledge about spirituality and what it meant to give, I came across a book that I hadn't read in several years, and it was called The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. And most people know this one, and some people may not. It's a book of poetry. It's got great significance for me. My marriage vows were from that book, and also my son's marriage vows when he was married a couple weeks ago had the same reading that my husband and I had at our wedding from the same book. But there is a wonderful, there is a chapter in that book that talks about giving that really sums up what it's like to give. And it's quite wordy and it's poetic and it's a little hard to read, but I would really like to share it with you because it means so much to you when you start to understand what giving is like and what giving in order to give for the sake of giving, not necessarily receiving, brings about so much joy and so much love into your life. And this reading from Kahlil Gibran is one of those wonderful poems that I would like to read for you. And it goes, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. For what are your possessions but things you keep and guard for fear you may need them tomorrow? And tomorrow, what shall tomorrow bring to the overprudent dog burying bones in the trackless sand as he follows the pilgrims to the holy city? And what is fear of need but need itself? Is not dread of thirst when your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable? There are those who give little of the much that they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desires makes their gifts unwholesome. And there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life, and their coffer is never empty. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor give with mindfulness of virtue. They give as in yonder valley the myrtle breaths in fragrance into space. Through their hands of such of these God speaks, and from behind their eyes he smiles upon the earth. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked through understanding. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive his joy greater than giving. And is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. Therefore, give now, that the season of giving may be yours, and not your inheritors. You often say, I would give, but only to the deserving. The trees in the orchard say not so, nor the flocks in your pasture. They give that they may live, or to withhold is to perish. Surely, he who is worthy to receive his days and his nights is worthy of all else from you. And he who deserves the drink from the ocean of life deserves to fill his cup from you like a stream. And what desert greater shall there be than that which lies in the courage and the confidence, nay, the charity of receiving? And who are you that men should rend their bosom and unveil their pride, that you may see their worth naked and their pride unabashed. See first that you yourself deserve to be a giver and an instrument of giving. For in truth, it is life that gives unto life, while you who deem yourself a giver are but a witness. And you receivers, and you all are receivers, assume no weight of gratitude, lest you lay your yoke upon yourself and upon him who gives. Rather rise together with the giver on his gifts as on wings. For to be over mindful of your debt is to doubt his generosity, who has the free-hearted earth for the mother and a God for father. So as we've been talking about spiritual economics over the last couple of weeks, that reading sums it up. It's not about giving to receive. Receiving is the result of your giving, but that's not why we give. It's not why we give. We don't feel prosperous because of all the things we have. We may believe that, but that's a false belief. We think we have things and that makes us rich. And that's not the case. All the things that we have are things that we will remember some years down the road when we find it in the closet, that we had this all this time. Something that is important to us, something that we feel is important, may not be as important down the road. And when we put so much weight on things, the material things that we have, the things that we own, how we live, what we look like, when we spend all that time, it's fleeting. Everything that we have is something that will someday be someone's trash, quite honestly. And when you look at your life, look at it. Why are we abundant? Why do we feel prosperous? Is it the things that we have? Or is it the laughter that we share? Is it the joy that we experience? Is it the smile that we give to another person? Because when you give more than yourself. You give from beyond yourself. It's a thing that goes through you and into another person's life. And when you get into that place of prosperity, when you get into that space of knowingness, that space of source, that's where your abundance lies. And when you allow that to flow, when you stop hoarding and you stop holding on to things that really mean nothing in the whole scheme of life, then you'll understand that life is about giving. Let go of what you hold on to and share that with the world. You will get more out of it than you will ever imagine. And this is the beauty of giving. This is the beauty of tithing. This is what it means to be prosperous, and this is what it means to be abundant. When you are the vessel for which the world source comes through and you give that to the world, that is the most beautiful way to give. You are a treasure, you are a talent, and you are time. And you have all those things to give. And through you and as you, God works in mysterious and beautiful ways. And so allow that to flow through you, and you will always feel abundant and you will always feel prosperous. In a few minutes, we're going to have a guided meditation that's going to look at those material things and talk about a little bit about what the Buddha thinks about suffering. But first, we'll have another wonderful song by ChristineEss, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for listening to my ramblings about tithing and my experience with my little coins. And we'll go into meditation in just a moment. Thank you, ChristineEss, for taking us into song.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home.
Thank you. Perfect. I want to start off our meditation today with a little explanation of what we're going to be doing. The practice that we're going to be doing is a mindfulness meditation, and it's going to help us to understand the importance of giving. And all of us, including myself, I am sure, and there are some people maybe who have it more together than me, but have things in their lives that they hold on to because they're worried that maybe they'll need it at some point in the future. And this is one of the things that I struggle with. And so when I came up with the meditation today, I was like, you know what? I think in the whole scheme of things and the whole theme of giving, I would like to share this struggle that I have of giving things away by keep holding on to them. And I was able to go into Buddhism, which I do like to do, and read some things about that Buddha said about giving and how material things are not important. And I have to remember that because all things that are material do eventually cause some form of suffering. When you attach yourself to those things, when you put weight on those things, when they become so important, at some point, someday, you won't have that thing. And the loss is more than a lot of people want to bear. And the Buddha says, don't attach to things. So this is an exercise, this mindfulness exercise is an exercise on how to really look at their things. I actually, a couple of years ago, I had gotten a book about, and you've probably seen it on Netflix, about giving, Marie Kondo, The Japanese Art of Giving. And that woman is awesome. I don't know how she can only have just a few books. I have a whole library, and she says you're only supposed to have like 20. And I'm like, how does that happen? But I'm working on it. I am a work in progress. So getting rid of things that I am and trying not to be attached to those things that I do not need. And this meditation is going to help us get there. So get into a position of meditation, whichever position is your favorite. You can sit on the floor. You can lie down on a mat or on the couch or the bed that you're on. You can sit up straight, your feet planted firmly on the floor. And you can just start focusing on breathing in and out. Just taking your focus from the things around you and into your body. You can close your eyes, or you can keep them slightly open with a soft focus, whichever way is comfortable for you. But what you want to do is you want to draw your attention from the outer world and bring it inside your body. Paying attention to the stiffness or any kind of area that needs to be relaxed and let go and loosened. Just look at those muscles and just gently relax them if you can, getting more and more comfortable each time you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you get more and you get more relaxed each and every time. And as you scan your body for any tightness or any stress or tension, just bless that area, breathe into it, and let it go. Allow it to loosen. Allow it to get more comfortable. And as you get more and more relaxed, I want you to bring to mind something that has value to you, something that you're holding on to. I don't want it to be something that's extremely valuable. This is something almost neutral. As we get more and more skilled at giving and receiving, it'll become easier to let those more important things go. But I would like you to bring something to mind, something that you've been holding on to. It could be something in your closet that you've had for a while, maybe clothing that you're holding on to, or something from your past that you've had for a long time that you haven't seen in a while. Just something that you have in your home or that you're keeping on, holding on to. I'd like you to bring that to your mind. And as you bring it to mind, I'd like you to really look at it. Look at it from all sides. What does it do? What is it for? What has it done for you? Why do you have it? Just start looking at this thing, start asking questions. Is it worth money? Does it have a monetary value? Or does it have some other meaning, some other reason why you're holding on to it? And I'd like you to ask yourself, would I ever give it away? Why am I holding on to it? And if someone else were in need of it, would I give it away? What does that look like when you give it away? How would that make you feel? What feelings do you have? And maybe think about why you have that feeling. Why are you holding on to it? Is it because you're afraid you'll need it at some point, or you're afraid that you don't know what would be like without it? What would happen if there was a person who came to you and said, I really, really need that? Would you give it away? Would you actually give it to somebody who needs it? I'd like you to sit with that answer for a moment. There really is no right or wrong answer. If you said, no, I can't give it away, that's absolutely fine. That's where you are in this space and time. But this exercise is for you to really look at the thing that you have. Really see it as it is. And now I'd really like you to start looking at it as an object, taking away all value, any meaning that you put to it. What is it? Don't attach any emotion to it. I would just like you to look at it as a thing in the world. Look at it again from all sides. It's a thing that you have in this world. Taking away any emotion, any attachment that you have. And maybe you need to give it another name, a neutral name, maybe a label. For example, if it's money, then it could be metal or paper. Or if it's a painting that you have, maybe it's paint and canvas instead. Try to neutralize what it is, because we ascribe so much emotion to the things that we have. But when we take that emotion away, what is it really used for? And what is it really? Now that we've given a neutral label and we started taking away the emotion, has it lost its importance to you? Can you see that if you pull away our attachments, our ability to see it in an emotional way, do you see when we take it away that it is just an object? And now that it's an object, could you give it to another person? If that person came to you, I could really use that. Does it easier for you to give it away? Again, there's no right or wrong answer here. I would just like you to sit with that for a moment and think about that object now. without the emotion, with a neutral label, and decide whether or not you could give it away. You see, in the end, all things we have are just things. They have no special meaning unless we give that meaning to it. Even the money we earn, if you think about it and you pull away all of the idea, it's just numbers. Numbers on a piece of paper or on your computer screen. And when we begin to see these things that we have as tools instead of the icons that we've created, then we're able to use them to help ourselves and to help others in so many more ways than we thought we could. The Buddha believed that attachment to things causes suffering. It is the thing, the main thing that causes suffering. And giving is the remedy for this suffering. Whenever we give, we receive in some other wonderful way. And this is the point of this exercise, to start seeing things in less and less important ways, knowing that the things that we have that are important is love and compassion and empathy and kindness and all those things that we give freely that we cannot hold on to because they're not material. Those things are what's important. And although we love the things that we have and the things that we buy and the things we have on display in our homes, we know that the divine flows through us, and those are the most important things. And if we needed to give those things away, and for someone who may need it, we could open our hearts and allow that to happen. Because we know that we are abundant. We know that we are prosperous. And in the end, it's no longer what we have. It's what we've given others in our lives that's important. Take another deep breath. That was a difficult exercise. And I think it's one that's really important because it starts to bring our focus away from the material world and back into the divine space that is the source of all being. And in this space, in this place of divine source, we are always abundant. We are always cared for. We always have what we need. And we are truly blessed. And with gratitude, we thank the divine space for all that we have. All right, taking a deep breath in, bringing our awareness and our consciousness back into the space that we're in. Again, with gratitude, we thank that space within us that we could go to feel that source, that energy that's always there. Breathing in and out, we start to become aware of our surroundings. We feel ourselves supported by the surface that we are sitting or lying upon. And taking another deep breath in, letting it out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your attention back into the space, knowing and feeling that we are always cared for, and we are always abundant, and we're always prosperous. And with that, it is time for that time in our service where we open our hearts to give. And this is a time where we accept donations and anything that you have to offer for Unity of Tacoma. They go to the missions and the various ministries that we do here, from the diaper drive to Faith in Action that's coming up pretty soon, and the World Day of Prayer, and all these wonderful things that you support with your donations to Unity of Tacoma. We are so grateful for. And there are 4 ways that you can give. Well, there are 3 ways you can give now because we're not in person. You can go to our website at www.unityoftacoma.org/donate to give via PayPal. You can donate through Zelle using our telephone number 253-576-3225, or you can mail a check to Unity of Tacoma, P.O. Box 112289, Tacoma, Washington 98411. And as we prepare to give, I'd like you to hold the intention of prosperity within your hands, visualizing the circulation of abundance flowing through you. Jesus taught us in Luke 6:38, give and you will receive. You will be given much, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It will spill into your lap. The way you give to others is the way God will give back to you. And as you visualize holding your gift in your hands, please repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for my blessings today, and I am grateful in every way. And so it is. Amen. May the blessings of your gift bring more blessings back to you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, from Unity of Tacoma, for the love and support that you give us. And thank you always for being with us. Your love is appreciated. And now we have music, more music from ChristineEss, and then I'll have some announcements and I'll take us out with a benediction.
I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love, and love is given to me. I give because I believe in joy. I give because I believe in joy. I give because I believe in joy, and joy is given to me. I give because I believe in truth. I give because I believe in truth. I give because I believe in truth, and truth is given to me. I give because I believe in peace. I give because I believe in peace. I give because I believe in peace, and peace is given to me. I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love, and love is given to me, and love is given to me. Yes, love is given to me.
Ooh, thank you very much. Perfect. That means that we can go into our announcements with joy in our hearts and feeling good about it. I always love that song. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, our announcements. You can join us next Sunday. And what is next Sunday? I didn't even put the date next Sunday. It's the 29th, August 29th, as we welcome musical guest Jean Mann. She's going to be joining us from Seattle, and she'll be joining us on our live stream, and we're looking forward to having her back. So I always love to have Jean here. We will also be hosting a prayer service on World Day of Prayer. Unity World Day of Prayer is Wednesday, September 8th, and we'll be having a special service at 6:30. We have Matt Corey and Becky Thatcher, who will be our musical guests for that prayer service. And they're going to be guiding a Taizé service with prayer, chanting, reading, and a lot of songs. So we're looking forward to that. And this year's theme is All is Well in My Soul. So you'll be able to watch via live stream from wherever you are, and we hope that you'll join us on that day. And if you can't join us on that day, then check out the website again at unityoftacoma.org and go into messages, and you can see the message. We'll be able to have that there so you can check it out later. You can also go to our YouTube channel and check it out there. So lots of opportunity to see if you are unable to attend at that time. So that's September 8th at 6:30 p.m. It is a Wednesday evening. Our benediction today is actually from the Buddha, and it is generosity brings happiness at all stages of its expression. We experience joy in forming the intention to be generous. We experience joy in the actual act of giving something. And we experience joy in remembering the fact that we have given. So now we have ChristineEss, who's going to take us out with our peace song. Thank you so much for joining us and being here with us. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week, 10 a.m. on Sunday. And I hope you have a wonderful week.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ChristineEss. Thank you to my tech staff, Kamai and Denise. I appreciate you. Hope you have a wonderful week. Check in with us next week. Bye-bye.